Wanted to welcome everybody here to Math 1000 online. My name is Scott McDaniel. I'll be your instructor for the course. I wanted to tell you just a little bit about me. I've been here at MTSU since 1993, and I started teaching full-time in 95. I've got my undergraduate degree in mathematics from MTSU and a graduate degree, my master's in math, from MTSU. And I finished my doctorate in 2003 from Tennessee State University in education. So I will be instructing your course. In a few moments I will show you how the course is going to be run. And so you'll actually see some screenshots of the actual course before you get in. I'll go over the syllabus, the outline, and some tips on how to succeed in this course. So I want to give everybody again a quick welcome to the course. Definitely contact me if you have any problems. Okay, now that we're going to go into the course, we're going to go to coursecompass.com. As we see here, when you come here, if you have not registered for the course yet, you're going to click on Register under Students. And for this course, you can either buy an online text. It comes with an ebook, so you can buy an access code that comes with an ebook, or you can buy a text, a physical copy of the book that comes with an access code. Make sure if you buy the book, it actually comes with a functional access code. Okay, so you can gain access to a new course. If you're retaking the course, you can click Continue a Course, retake a course. Okay, I'm not sure how much further I can get here before I actually have to do something. I will email you the course ID. So whatever that course ID happens to be, I will email that to you. You'll put that in there, find a course, and you'll get registered into my course. Okay? Once you get the course ID, you should be able to log in, and you won't have a whole list of courses here. You'll have one. It should say, or if you've repeated it, you may have another one. It'll say A, period, then Math 1000 Online Summer 2011, and there's the CRN. So you'll click on that. So far, nobody's enrolled. And by the way, here's the course ID, McDaniel, and then 30828. Hopefully that'll stay the same. But I will definitely email you that in a separate email, or maybe even in the same email. Okay, so I'm going to go do a few things. I'm going to try to go through this a little more quickly than I have in the past. Usually this takes about 25 to 35 minutes. I'm going to try to get it done in 10. So I'll expect you to actually read through this. So step one, click on Syllabus. Click on Syllabus, etc. Click on Syllabus. Print this out. I've had problems in the past with students. Basic policies and deadlines, how much does a test count, things like that. It's all in the syllabus, so you will need to read through this. I'm going to highlight a couple things for us, but in general, you will need to read through this. Let me bump this up a little bit. Okay, my name, Scott McDaniel. You see that office. I'm not going to be in my office too much this summer, but I can certainly meet you here if you need to. Course description, I'll let you read that. Topics. We're basically going to be solving equations. We're going to be graphing equations, looking at slopes. We'll look at rules of exponents, FOIL, and how to factor. That's basically what we're going to be doing with a handful of application problems thrown in. So office hours are going to be just virtual office hours. The website we've already mentioned, coursecompass.com. If you have a problem logging in, if you have a problem with something not clicking over right, call this number. This is 1-800 number. They will be able to help you do that. Placement, I'll let you read that. Materials, as I mentioned before, you can either buy the online access code for about between $75 and $80, or you can buy a book that comes with an access code free. It's up to you. For me, I would need a physical copy of the book, but that's certainly up to you. I don't really use the book. I don't refer to the book. I don't assign any problems out of the book. We will do all our homework online, as we'll see in a moment. I give you a workflow here. This is something relatively new. Print this out. Look to see the workflow I expect you to do. You're going to watch a video lecture. You won't actually see me. Well, there are a few videos I've done where you can actually see me work these out, but you'll hear my magic voice going through just as you're listening to this video here. You'll write down notes. I've got a little notes page for you to print out where you can copy your notes. You'll take a video lecture quiz. This just really ensures that you're watching the video. You'll do some online homework. And you can do those problems until you get them right. So if you miss it 3 times, you can press similar problem. It'll give you some more. Repeat until you get to an online quiz. So there are 2 types of quizzes. There's a video lecture quiz, which really I wanted to count as homework, but the system wouldn't let me password protect a homework. So it's a very weak, it doesn't count much at all. But the regular online quiz, which usually count 2 or 3, go over 2 or 3 sections, do count quite a bit. So every 2 or 3 sections will be an online quiz. You get 5 attempts at this. If you do this by the deadline, after the deadline, just to allow a little more flexibility, you can still do it after the deadline, but you only get 1 attempt. So I'm trying to give you an incentive to get these quizzes done. And I'll probably mention that again in a moment. Repeat until you reach a test. So about every chapter or so, we end up having a test, and that test is typically cumulative. So if you're having a test 2, there's probably stuff from the earlier test that's going to show up on there again. So make sure you prepare for that. And then once you take that test as a practice test, you have to get at least a 50% on the practice test before you can take the test. So make sure you do that. I found in the past that students that were taking the practice test and making A's and B's on it generally made A's and B's on the test. So rather than kind of leaving that up to you guys, I'm forcing you to take it. I know that's a pain in the beginning, but usually by the end of the term, it's appreciative of taking the practice test. And the practice test is just like the test. So don't take the practice test and go, ooh, I hope that problem's not on there. More than likely it is. I basically just renamed it. I copied the practice test, renamed it, and called it a test. We have 3 regular online tests, 100 points each, 10% each of your grade. And then there's a midterm, a proctored midterm. Let me re-emphasize it. Proctored midterm. You'll take this typically at MTSU's testing center, or if you live a certain distance away from MTSU, you can take this where you are. Like if you're in Chattanooga, you can. You'll still need to contact MTSU's testing center to get the password and so sent over to your proctor. But definitely contact them. I'll give you their name and website here in a little bit. Homework is worth a test grade, worth 100 points, 10% of your grade. The online quizzes are 10%, and then the proctored finals, 2 proctored tests. I recommend okay, don't want to see that message again. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the proctored test. Make sure you go ahead and start and schedule that proctored test now. Don't wait until the day before you want to take it. More than likely, or they won't have the exact time that you can fit it in. So test, again, 3 online tests. You can take them from the comfort of your own home. If you decide to do the pre-test, which is a way you can test out of the class, you got to do that the first week. The midterm and final must be taken at the approved testing center. You also must get at least a 50% on the practice test before you can even attempt the test, including the midterm and final. If you can get the tests done, except for the final, I'll add 5 points to your test if you get them done by the due date. There's then a 3-day grace period. I don't take anything away, but I don't add anything. Okay, so let's say the test is due, this first test is due June 22nd. If you do it by June 22nd at midnight, you automatically get 5 extra points added to your test. That's just really an incentive for you to get them done on time. If you do it the 23rd, 24th, or 25th, I don't add anything points, but I don't subtract any. If you do it after the 25th, so 3 days after that 3-day grace period, you get a 10-point hit. So do not take it past that 3-day grace period. So we got a little positive consequence, a little grace period, and a negative consequence. Okay, and there are the test due dates. Okay. Homework, lots of homework problems. You must get at least a 50% on the homework before moving on to the next section. So make sure you get those done. And before you can even do the homework, there's a video that you have to watch. And I'm going to go over the syllabus first, and then I'll show you kind of how the course works. Quizzes. 2 types of quizzes again. There's a video lecture quiz. You'll watch a video. You'll take a video lecture quiz to make sure you watch the video. It's a password protected quiz, and there's a password embedded in the video, and I'll show you where that is. Then there are online quizzes. You can take these up to 5 times if done by the due date. Read the syllabus. I won't be able to hit every single nuance here, but read through this. Practice tests, I mentioned this before. Midterm, we mentioned that before. There's the website to schedule that, or if you have any questions, you can call this number, or you can call me, or email me is the best way. And the final exam, again, we've mentioned that already. Normal grading scale, except there are no D's, so you've got to get at least a 70% in the class. And here's how you figure out your grade. You add them up and then divide by 1,000. Again, the final and the midterm are weighted a little bit more heavily, so we've got to take that into account, multiplying by 2.5. And Course Compass, I do my best to keep that updated with the weighting. Occasionally, it is going to be off by like a tenth or even a half a point. So just keep that in mind. At the end, it all shakes out. It shouldn't be off that much. Occasionally, when I go in there and create a new assignment, it'll automatically weight it a certain way, and I'll forget to change that. So if you notice something a little bit off, please let me know. Email the professor, I'll let you read that. The biggest thing is put your name in the email so I'll know who you are. Not that important, but the course is the only course I'm teaching this summer. And if you're replying to my email, include my email in your reply. And I'll let you read through those. We have a math lab here. I'll post the hours of that when I get them, and you probably know more about lottery scholarship than I do. And there's where my office is, although I'm not going to be in very often. We can make it a point to meet if necessary. Okay, that's a quick rundown of the syllabus. There is an outline here. Print this off. It is key that you print these documents off. Okay, so this is when you should start doing stuff. Again, this is a summer class, so we're basically, I've got this set up on a Monday through Friday. If I were teaching this on ground, what would I basically be doing? This is what I'd be doing, about a section a day. Okay, and I've got quizzes scattered out. I tried not to schedule more than one a day, except this, the couple times where that had to happen. But you're going to have to be on top of this in the summer. Okay, so day one, once you get logged in, click on videos. You need to watch the video lecture. So I'm trying to do some live videos. I'll talk more about those in a minute. You're going to go to chapter 1, so you're ready to do section 1.1. You've got PowerPoint notes available, so you can click on PowerPoint notes, and you can either print these off. This is 7 pages. This is basically, I'm going to run through the video with this. So I'll give you all the annotations on this. Or you can print off just the video lecture examples. So this is usually a little bit shorter. This one's only 2 pages. So these are just the examples. You don't get the definitions, the vocabulary, the objectives, things like that. Okay, so print one or both of those off. And then you click on the video. Not sure how well this is going to be, me taking a video of a video, but we'll see how it goes.
Welcome to the video lecture series.
So you can scroll through here.
Example 1.
Here's example 1. And let me just get to where I'm actually working. So I will work through these problems and try to teach you how to think about them.
What number? So we don't know. Following table, which is going to be the next slide.
Notice here's a password.
Taken from the brochure's office.
I think every time it comes up as a big yellow arrow. It should pause once it gets to the end before this password goes away. It pauses, so the password here is ABB. Just write that down as you're taking notes. And move on. Don't just go to the quiz. Go ahead and keep taking notes. So you should be taking notes as if you were in class. I cannot emphasize that enough. Students who did that almost universally made A's or B's in the class. Students who didn't do that almost always failed. So if you will watch these, they're not terribly exciting. I know I'm trying to jazz them up. But if you will watch these and take notes, write down that password you're taking the notes, then take the video lecture quiz. Not so sure what that is, so click to continue.
Here,
so
if you want to go there.
We keep on going, and then once we're done with that, you're going to take the video lecture quiz. On this first couple chapters, I think I gave you the link right here. All the quizzes are right here. Homework, quizzes, and tests. It'll take you to the same place. Okay, we got pop-up blocker. We can take those off. Okay, so here is that first video lecture quiz. So you're going to click on that. You can put the password in. I believe it was ABB. And then click OK. You're ready to start. It'll ask you a couple questions. What was the answer to example 2? I'll be honest, I don't remember what it was, so I'm just going to say 5. And then you're going to click submit. Let me see if I can show you that. Put the answer in, put submit. Oh, wait a second. Sorry. I click next. What's your answer to example A, 8A? We'll put that one. I can't remember what it was. And then just on chapters 1 and 2, I have you rate the videos just so I can kind of collect some feedback. Say excellent, and then give me any sort of criticism. They were great. Found an error in number 2. I did not understand what you meant by yada yada yada. So be specific if you're going to criticize it or if you have a question. Don't just say I'm lost. Try to be really specific in these. Then press submit. Okay, and then I'll have to go in and grade that for the first couple chapters. Okay, once you've done the quiz, again, those don't count a whole lot. That's really just to make sure that you're watching the video. In the past, before I did this, students wouldn't watch the video. Some of them didn't even know they were there. Half the class didn't know they were there, even though I did this same intro video and showed them the video was there. I know it's overwhelming, particularly if this is your first online class. But once I started doing this, grades really shot up. Click on homework, and now you can do the first homework. So before then, I've got this little flag on here. It tells you that there's a prerequisite to this item. So here, I can't go in to do 1.2 until I've done the video lecture quiz for 1.2. So for the homework, just start with question 1. This class, as most math classes, are very linear. Okay, so let's say we don't know how to do this one. Okay, evaluate 47y for y equals 8. You can view, sometimes I put an instructor tip here, sometimes I don't. Just plug and chug. You may use the calculator if needed. Sounds good. You can click help me solve this. It'll help you solve that problem. Okay, it'll kind of ask you some prompting questions, and that's really good. But notice once I go through that, it gives me another one. You can view an example, and that time it will not give me another one. It'll give me a very similar problem to do. And I can kind of click through here to go. And let's see if I miss this one. I'll say 41. Again, I can check this. Check answer, and it gives you a little hint on what's done. Let me check it 3 times. And it gives me, so there's my answer and there's correct answer. But we've got a red check. We don't want any checks. There's really almost no excuse on the homework to have a red X there. I press similar exercise. You may not have been able to see me do that, but there's a button that says similar exercise down there. And then I can do it until I get it right. So 180, I can just press enter, and I got it. If you think you got lucky, you can press similar exercise again. Let me show you what that is down here. See, similar exercise. It'll give you another one to practice on. Okay, 300. I think I got the hang of that. And so I press save. Okay, and I can move on to the next problem if I want to. You don't have to complete the homework all in one setting. It's probably good if you do, but you don't have to. Okay. So that was videos, homework, and quizzes. Again, once you get to, let me show you where one of these is. Let me just show all here. So we've got video lecture quiz. Once we get to a video lecture quiz, you're going to want to click on, once we get to an online quiz, you're going to want to click on online quiz. Wait a second. Here we go. So once we get to here, once we get through with 1.3, there's an online quiz. Those are the big ones. Okay, you'll have an hour to do it, and I need to change that number of attempts to 5. I forgot to do that. You're going to click on this. We'll continue. But you have to completed 1.3 homework. I didn't do that. It lets me bypass it since I'm an instructor. Okay, this one is one I give you typically I think an hour to do these, and you need to do it all in one setting. You can't just do the first couple and then move on. There are no help aids on the quizzes. Notice you take it 5 times. once you're done with the online quiz, and I'll remind you of this, okay? Once you're done with the online quiz, go to the study plan. The study plan will generate problems for you to do based on what you've gotten right and wrong. Okay, so if I drilled in to let's do chapter 1. I can drill into these problems here, and it'll give me problems to do based on what I missed. I haven't done anything, so all of them need work. Okay, so it'll just give you practice problems to do. There are 9 problems, for instance, on this one. Now, while it's not part of your grade, I do look at that, and I can tell who's really doing a lot of work. People who are spending a lot of time in here generally always get A's in the class. So a lot of people say, I'm working really hard in here, and I look at the study plan, and they're failing. I look at a study plan, they've done 4 problems. They spent less than 10 minutes in there. They spent less than 3 hours with the entire course. For some people, spend 30 hours a week in the study plan. Those are the folks that get A's in the class. Now, not everybody will need that, but that resource is definitely there, and make use of it. Okay. I'll generally do weekly or bi-weekly updates. I'll kind of do a video of what should have been done the last week, what we're doing now, and what's coming up, just to kind of give you a little informal, personal touch to the class. There's an ebook here. You can click on ebook, and you can drill into the actual textbook if you want. Now there is a video here. This is not my video. This is the textbook publisher's video. They're very well done. Mine aren't quite as fancy as theirs, but nonetheless, there's another video you can watch, and you can click within here. I'll let you do that. I know you know how to use these ebooks. Communication, discussion board. I want you to post a bio. Last semester, only about a third of the class posted a bio. It's worth a quiz grade, an online quiz grade, 10 points. So get that done the first week of class. And I think that's going to be it for now. I will be in contact with you. The biggest thing I can say for you to succeed in the class is to read my emails and look at the videos the video updates that I give out, and stay on top of things. Do not get behind. Some students last semester, I had, I think, 6 never logged into the course. I don't know why. I could not get them to log in. You may be one of those. Maybe something was going on. But I will be calling you and making sure that you get into the course. Okay? So make sure that you get into the course, that you do not get behind. Get that first test done. Set that as your goal. Get that first test done by the due date. Students who did that typically did really well in the class. You can get off to a good start in here, okay? And that's it. Hopefully I kept this video under 30 minutes. We'll see.